So first off, we're going to talk about, in this new series, I want to do the best Digimon archetypes for beginners. First off is Green Leomon. This is a major important stepping stone for a lot of creations and stuff like that. So I wanted to do something unique for beginners and competitive. So this is like getting into competitive itself. Green Leomon is not something that isn't like competitive out the gate. The set really brings it forwards, and I really like seeing that. So let's see. Things about this is like price guides and key features. Price of entry for this deck is about 80 US to 90 euros for both sides here. So it's not terrible. It's going to cost you a little bit more on the Europe side, but it's really good. Learning curve is for beginners to intermediates. So this means like if you're just starting out, this deck should be very easy for you to learn, while it definitely can progress to be a very intermediate deck that can really show some great combos and everything like that. So we're going to show off some of those in the video. And the thing that really brings it together is Fortitude. This ability, as long as you have a source underneath, can bring back your boss Digimon back onto the field. This is found in the level 5s and level 6s. So it's a very simple keyword that you can very much master in like a day's time. So, and it's a stack theme deck that people can enjoy. A lot of people have this centrist mindset that the game is supposed to play in a stack way. So you can definitely promote out. You don't need to play hide and raising like some of the other decks. But this deck is really fun to play. On a scale to 1 to 10, I would say this is definitely a 8 out of 10 fun deck. Easy to learn, everything like that. The power of this deck is really strong, and we're going to see that in the matchmaking. So definitely take that a look as you see. So let's take a look at the deck profile itself. This is basically a simple list that I came up with. You know, it's not hard. This deck doesn't have a lot of outside of the box stuff that you need to pick up or anything like that. So this is a deck simply built in house. So if you buy a couple boxes of Animal Coliseum, you'll get a playset of the Elecmons, the Leomon, and then, you know, the Leomon and the Leomon line completely to grapple to Loader Leo. So you'll have to probably buy the singles of Heavy Leo and Bancho, because you most likely will only get one of each if in those two boxes. So that's kind of the problem with super rares when we have these sets. But Bancho and Heavy Leo, very solid. And then you have like this flashy Boss Punch. So, you know, ignores color requirements of Leomon and Bancho is on the field. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon gets -12 for the turn, and then one of your Digimon with Leomon or Bancho in its name may attack, and then suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. One of your opponent's Digimon gets -12,000 DP. Major things that you want to make sure you have are the memory boost and the agility trainings, because the deck doesn't have a lot of innate searching outside of the rookies. So, and there's not a bunch of draw power except for the when attacking with Fremon. So this card just wants to check if you're a Leomon in name, and they all have they are treated as Leomon in their name. So stuff like that's really important. Omnimon Merciful mode is in here just for one simple reason, and that's to deal with the purple matchup. Getting to put things back at the bottom of their deck ruins their trash situation, very important. Then we have like Quartzmon to lock down any Tamer theme centric stuff, and for Setcon, obviously, because Setcon can definitely ruin your day if you do not know what you're doing against it. So being able to stop them by trashing out the security, because they're going to play Tamers, play Digimon, get their self wide enough, and then you basically lock themselves out of doing things. You have like Terriers and Pumo. Yes, Pumo is a counter active to our deck in generalization, because Fortitude plays us by an effect. But there are decks that will force us to play something just to get their, you know, big boys out. I find this as a benefit for us in a way that you need to understand. Pumamon can help us in the matchups against like the Anubismon, and in a very much Leviamon themed deck. Shutting down their being able to play by an effect is huge, and that can lead to being some good combos for us. He's only at 1 so that our Fortitude doesn't get screwed over. But with Heavy Leo being our multi-attacker and pusher, we can easily use like Final Zubagon Punch to make him attack for 4 security by himself. as long as he survives each attack, he becomes really scary. So I think this is very important to know about our deck and what it can do. The Mimis just help speed up tempo, everything like that. But with Fortitude, we're really solid. And then, you know, Bancho Leomon just being able to minus 4,000 DP security attack in all turns. So when he comes in, he'll do that to one Digimon. And then the next Digimon you'll do that to is just clear them out. So that makes it so you can stop at least 2 attacks in a turn. So hopefully as long as you suspend one Digimon. I think we have a lot of potential, and I'm really excited. So let's show off the deck in the showcase part of the video, shall we? So I'm going to keep the opening hand. It's pretty solid here. Let's go. We have pretty much a decent line. We're going to hatch the Digitama, Digivolve into a Leomon for 0. Then we're going to Digivolve into Leomon. So Lea is definitely solid here. We're going to hatch GG, then Digivolve into Gallantmon, then play a Gallantmon, the search the top 4, grabs Gallantmon, X antibody, and we're pretty happy to see all that go to the bottom. Promote up, we're going to attack, we're going to switch in and draw a card for the inheritable, and then we're going to Digivolve into Grap Leo for a cost of 3, which would become a cost of 2. It dies, but Fortitude survives, and we were able to rewind and get off the Gallantmon off the board. So he's going to play his Staccato for 3 costs, which is not terrible here. We're going to hatch. We're going to Digivolve into this card here, which is not bad at all. We're going to Digivolve into Heavy Leomon. This is going to be really nasty if we can get multiple attacks in, especially being able to deal with threats on the board. He's thinking and contemplating his plays, which is not bad. He promotes the Leomon up, gets in the attack with the inheritable to draw a card, and then slams down his Staccatos. We're going to promote up, and then we're going to attack, which is really solid here. He has both of those. That's kind of upsets me that both were in security, but that happens. We'll Digivolve into Leomon here, which is not a bad play, and we put him at 1. He hatches, and then Digivolves into his Gallantmon. That'll let him warp. He uses Crimson Blaze to slow me down, which he's playing 3 of, which upsets me a little bit because that's crazy. Hatch. We're going to have to build and raising again. So not too terrible, but we're going to attack security. Hopefully he doesn't die. Gets 8 offensive trading. We get to stand and then swing again. So he gets the Tamer resets, Tamer setter, which upsets me. I'm debating on going with Memory Boost, and I go with it just to grab a ultimate that we definitely didn't really need, but it definitely helps out here. So he promotes. He's got the ability to warp. He's going to reduce the Digivolution cost of 4 to go to 2, but he's going to go for Black Greymon to mill me out a little bit and mill him out a bit. So grabs his Gallantmon he needs, and then Digivolves into War Greymon for 3 cost. So not a terrible thing. He gets Blitz if he needs it. Then plays a Staccato down, giving him 3 Staccatos if he removes my Leomon, which he will. So it's going to cost him 4 to Digivolve into. This will pass back to my turn, luckily, once he pops my Heavy Leomon. So going down is not bad here. Staccato didn't bring him back much, but we did Digivolve and get the threat kind of lessened for us. We have some plays here we can do just to take, but I'm not going to promote up here. It's just too risky. I'm thinking about Heaven's Judgment, which could remove this card off the board and we don't have to worry about anything else, but I think I'm going to go with Agility Training here to choke out, and it's just because he can't kill me this turn, which is really what we're trying to not die here. He promotes Digivolves and raising into a Gallantmon that's going to warp if I have an ultimate Mega on board. Hits a Leomon in the stack, which is not terrible. Then plays offensive training, grabs the Gallantmon, which is really annoying here. Now he has 2 in his hand, so if I even get rid of 1, it's going to be a problem. Digivolves into Greymon, choking me out 1. So debating on raising here. I think it's the smart play to raise here. So I'm going to raise up. I'm going to go for the pop the agility training, or do I just go for the swing if I remember correctly? Nah, I go for the memory boost pop first, play training to grab the champion that I was missing. So now I can kind of just go from there. I'm going to grab that, going to Digivolve into the card I just grabbed, the Leomon. I wanted the Leomon, to be honest with you, but we're going to work with this instead. So there's a lot of possibilities we can work with. It's going to go up anyway. We're going to draw a card. We're going to Digivolve into the Loader Leomon to minus its DP so we can clear it without having to worry about it. And then we're kind of set here. He added the card, the Gallantmon Crimson Mode, which is really annoying, but hopefully we can handle what's going on here. He Digivolves into his War Growlmon. So we can answer response the following turn as long as we get more than one memory. So we just discarded out a few key pieces, but we have a Bancho in response, but he plays his another Tocado to basically guarantee his turn coming back to him, which I'm going to not be too fond of. But he's thinking about his plays. He has quite a few options that can lead to being... He uses Magma Bomb to get rid of my loader, to force me to play my loader again. So Fortitude is going to happen. I can't minus its DP enough so that it's going to get it off the board. But so we're going to minus its DP twice. And then play loader to minus it by another 3,000. What I wish I had was the D-Digi Evolution, because minus 6,000 one got rid of his champion, but now we do have to deal with the Gallantmon. But we minus his DP by 12 by the security, but he Digivolves into Crimson Mode, which is going to ruin our day immensely, because I really didn't want Crimson Mode to come in. Hatch. We have very little options here. We're going to Digivolve into Raising. We can slam down Bancho, which would be a cost of 2. That could help us out here and just stop the attack turn, which is going to be very important. So we're just going to make it have -1 security check, and it can't pop our Bancho right now, which is really good. He can't deal damage, but he will trash our security. So it's very important to keep that in mind. I misplay a little bit here because I forget that there is another Leomon to worry about. So I should have just waited here and not attacked and waited for him to slam down his other Leomon that basically says if there's 20 or more in trash, it gains rush. I completely whiff on that because the Crimson Mode was already minusing till the end of their turn. So another match going in. So we have a decent actually hand here, which is not bad. We want to see this hand. So we got Mimi, Leomon, and Leomon. So we got a Grapple Leo. He hatches a Koromon, which is really solid here. He's thinking about what he wants to do. He plays the Digivolves and Raising into a Agumon, and then plays Taikamiya, that is basically the last Kazunaz. We're going to Digivolve into Leomon, and we're going to slam down Mimi, I think, is the best play here, just because giving us guaranteed 3 memory is going to help out immensely. So he's got his Agu all set up and ready to go. So he can Digivolve into Greymon, but doesn't. His effect, I think, whiffs, or he just chose not to do it, which is not bad, but I would have guaranteed that. So he plays his Agu, grabbing that. It's a good, interesting variant for the list he's playing. It's more of a rush build, which some decks can't handle, but our deck can handle a little bit. I'm deciding on promoting up. I have a decent combo line here that can get rid of both of their threats. We're going to promote up. We're going to Digivolve for 2. You know, we're going to attack. It's security, and our goal is to get Grapple to die, to be honest with you. And that's like a funny thing, too. We're just focusing on trying to get Grapple to die. So we're going to spin that back. See, it dies like we wanted. We can minus the attack power here and get rid of that, and then play Grapple back. So we got the heavy Leomon here, which is really good. We wanted a heavy paired to Bancho. So this is going to help us out immensely. Then he Digivolves in Raising on top of the Koromon for a Ukumon, which is a really nasty combination for these lists here now, because they're really good. Plays the Taikamiya from the older set from BT14. 0 cost, Digivolve, then we can promote up. But we're going to go for playing our Fortitude for 4. So we're going to get Heavy Leo on board and just be prepared to clear out anything on his board for threats. We're kind of really solid anyway. There's not much digging we have to do. So he's got the Uku ready, and I'm pretty excited to see what he can do here. So he Digivolved into Agumon and Raising, which is not a bad thing. So, plays the Tai and Kari. We use Mimi to set us to 3. We got a solid lineup here. We can attack. We can get rid of the Uku that's going to be causing us issues. We're going to pop it and spin it back. You know, we're going to use the memory training to agility training to gain us a solid tempo. We're going to hatch Digivolve into Terrier and Raising. And then we're going to get the memory boost to hopefully dig a little bit deeper. We get Quartzmon. That is huge play for next turn because he has so many tamers out right now. If he can't get rid of the Fortitude in this turn, we have a way of locking his full board down for the rest of the game. So Quartzmon is just how we're going to win this. And it's going to be really nasty for him to deal with. Let's see. Digivolves into the security checker Greymon, which is really not the best situation because we have the better advantage, but Digivolves into the Raid War Greymon, well, Metal Greymon. So this one's going to take out our little guy very easily, but that's fine. We don't care. We're going to just deal with threats from there. So it's really going to be interesting what he does for his follow-up play because this doesn't always lead to being the best. So he's pondering what he's going to do. He Digivolves into the Secret War Greymon for BT14 and it has Raid, and then it can attack, which he's going to probably swing into the Fortitude Boy, which is the smart play here. Gets a few securities gone and everything like that. Gets an extra security check. But, you know, make sure the security is a little bit smaller. We're going to de-Digivolve it, and then because we have to do that first, and then we're going to play it back out, which is not terrible. He clears the security quite well, which is no surprise. But now it's our turn. We're going to promote up. We're going to activate Mimi's hatch, final hatch. We're going to Digivolve into Terrier and Raising. And then, you know what? Pop the Mem Boost and go right into Quartzmon, locking down his board completely, locking down my board completely, which is not anything to scuff at. So we're going to swing in and just kill off a couple security here without even breaking a sweat. So Digivolve in Raising, I think, is the right play. Nah, we just go for the memory boost. Yeah, because it'll put him at 1 would be the best bet. So we're going to grab the Loader Leomon. So really solid. At this point, we have game on board. Unless he can stop me from unsuspending, which can happen. But we have a lot of memory to work with the follow-up turn. We can basically skip climb all the way into Loader if we wanted to. Place Tai Kamiya down and Digivolves into the Agumon that gets to check the top. I don't know why you would play Tai at this point because Quartzmon just gains more advantage if you have more stuff to suspend. Digivolves into Greymon in Raising. We unsuspend. We promote the Terriermon up. And then we just go for the swing. We're going to lock down the Tamer and then basically gets rid of the Uku and swings for game. Then final match, we're going to be playing boys and girls. So I'm excited to see what we can do here. Takes a few minutes to find something. Sometimes that happens, especially in matchmaking. But with Leomon, you have a lot of variety to do. And I'm really excited for all the shenanigans I'm able to show you guys. So I'm really excited for this matchup. So let's see if we can get something in a minute or two. So, yeah. It takes a little bit sometimes. So we finally get into a match here. And then we're looking at a not really good hand. We have to mulligan this. This is going second. This is a really bad hand. We have Leo, Bancho, Anima Merciful, and Quartz. That's not what we want here. We want something a little bit more clean and easy to win with. So, we're debating on it. Mulliganing it away. So we got some options here. Hatches Sunemon, then plays Purple Mem Boost. Let's see what they do here. We're going to hatch. We're going to Digivolve into Pumamon in Raising, because I might want to use the Electmon afterwards. But we're going to Digivolve into Leomon and then play Mimi down, giving them 4. Since they really don't have threats going on, gets Gabumon X Antibody, then plays Gabumon X Antibody. So at least we have a way of setting ourselves to 3, which is really good. Then plays Purple Memboost from there. So this looks to be Mr. Chompy Chomp Boy, which is really scary for us in a little bit of ways. But we're going to promote up. We have Grapleo to really just combo out with. But we're going to Digivolve here for 3, which I should have just went for the attack, but it doesn't really matter. We wanted the egg anyway, so we're going to Digivolve here for 0 cost. And we get like Terriermon going as well. Attack the security. You know, we lose the battle, but Fortitude brings him back out. And then we're just... I'm baiting on Mega, so we go with the Mega. So we go with a heavy Leo, setting myself up to deal with any threat they kind of try to push. So he's at 4 memory, 6 memory, can go up to 8. Digivolves into the Garurumon X Antibody to draw 2 cards, discard 2, but no memory gain because he doesn't have an X Antibody, but has an Nidhogg, so trashing that is a real annoyance here. Then Digivolves into Multi-Attack Weregarurumon. Has at least 2 battle protections, which is really not good for us because we don't want them to have this battle protection. But swings in again, takes out 2 of our security without even breaking a sweat. Then plays Mental Training, grabs a Weregarurumon because that's the only valid target, but we have Heavy Leo, so we can definitely attack in and just do some clean up a little bit. So we're going to hatch here because we do have the Mega. Get the Terrier set up in the back so that we could do some really nice cleanup duty afterwards. So we're going to attack in. Biting Crush was not something I was hoping for, so that's not really good. He discards Octo, and then we're going to lose out on our Elecmon. So then we restand. We could go for an attack on the Digimon, but it's just pointless. So we attack, try to get that out. So we're just going to minus his DP off the board a couple times. So I don't mind giving them 4, 6 to work with because the board is cleared now. And they have to rebuild everything, and they're not going to leave their security up like that. So Digivolves into Gabumon X Antibody, Digivolves into Garurumon, pops the Memboost, goes to 4, plays Gabumon, then basically grabs Gabumon X and Weregarurumon, then discards a Gaze. Digivolves into Garurumon X Antibody, and discards 2 cards. So promote Terriermon up to slow them down a little bit. Hatch, we're going to Digivolve into Elecmon in Raising, set us ourself up really nicely. We're going to attack in just because it might help out. Gets a Biting Crush here. Discards Weregaruru. We're going to just Digivolve and then hard play, remove, spin back, and then boom, we have a heavy again. I'm like debating on raising evolution, but I feel like just choking them at 1 will help us out. So just sending down another Mimi. I know this is kind of like a dead play, but Digivolves into Garurumon X Antibody. So discards 2 cards here and doesn't gain the memory because I have the Terriermon out. So that's really solid here. We slowed down their play. So they're going to go into their ultimate here, which could be a couple things. They go with Dragomon. So I'm going to go with Elecmon. I should have went with Pumamon. That would have just really ruined their game plan because that would have prevented them from doing this Sayoko-mon. Discards that card there. And we have some potential here depending on what he does. So with the Leviamon threat, he's going to get rid of our rookie here. It's not a bad play just because now it clears the whole board. But goes into Levy. Levy's going to pop Heavy Loader and Terriermon. He gains 2 memory back. And then we Digivolve and get rid of the small little Sayoko-mon. So promote up the Elecmon. We're going to Digivolve into Leomon. And then we're going to go for the Grapleo, I think is the smart play when we attack. So we're going to attack in to this Digimon because he doesn't have the protection because he's not on a Garurumon name. So we can get rid of the threat easy. So even trade here, but we get Grapleo back, which is what we want to have back. So very important. Gabumon here. And then Biting Crush comes down, which sucks. Gets rid of our Wrap Leo, which means we have to do all this stuff outside of raising. So we're going to get Heavy Loader from security, Digivolve into Leomon. And then we're going to go into Heavy Loader again. So sets us up really nicely. Checking opponent's graveyard. I didn't really check it decently, but promotes the Gallantmon up. Gets a second memory here. Plays Biting Crush again, just to get rid of our loader. Forces our stuff to come out. But I'm going to minus the DP first, getting his threat off the board. Play Loader. Biting Crush plays Leviamon down, which, to be honest with you, I shouldn't have just walked into that. I should have just let it go. But we're going to play a few things going on here. We're going to do agility training just to grab pieces into our hand. I'm going to play Leela and grab Loader just to get stuff going. And I'm debating on another agility training, but we're going for the Digi-Evolution here for 2 costs. So we got a Bancho, which can help us out here immensely. But he's going to swing in and take out 2 of our security. But we get the Mem Boost, which is really solid. Then goes into Ruin Mode to clear my board, which helps us out even more. We're going to minus its DP. Doesn't really matter here. So we're going to pop the Mem Boost, go to 5. And then we're going to play Bancho. Since it's suspended, we can't do anything about it. But he can at least swing in. Digivolves and raising into Gabu on top of his Sune. You know, Ruin Mode's going to really wreck our day a little bit. But we can definitely answer response to this whole board. So let's see what he plans on trying to do here. There's not many options he has. We can easily get another Bancho the next turn to really ruin his day. So he's trying to think out a decent out here, because we're going to minus his DP and make it security attack -1. And he's not going to be able to get us to play something from an effect right now. He hard plays Dragomon to hopefully try to get rid of our stuff. Then I remember we have Pumamon in the list. So Biting Crush fails because he can't play it by effect. So we kind of just get the game here because he wasn't able to clear my board for free. So we're going to minus the DP on that. It dies, which we don't care. So we get the final attack in with Pumamon. So guys, that is the games. So what did you guys think? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!